everyone, it's Kim. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new to my channel, please stick around. We like to have some fun over here, checking out new WW friendly recipes and living the WW lifestyle. Today's video is going to be a fun collab video. Myself and a bunch of other talented channels out there are all getting together and pulling together vegetarian meals. So I don't know about you, but sometimes it's hard trying to figure out what to do and get super creative when you're not using meat in some of your dishes. And it also helps when you're trying to cut down the points as well. You know, sometimes you just don't want to eat meat every day. So what we're doing is we're going to come up with a bunch of fun, yummy recipes so that you can make these in your very own kitchens. So I'm going to link below all of the channels that are participating in today's collab, and also want to thank them for joining in on the fun with this collab. So with that said, let's jump right into today's video. My video is going to be a chili mac video, and it's got pasta and cheese and chili fixings, and it's absolutely fabulous. Today we're going to be making our recipe on the stove. And I know that I have made this in my Instant Pot as well. This is something I have made a couple of times before. And you could also, I'm sure, make it in your crock pots. But today, again, we're gonna make this recipe on the stove because I thought it would be easier for those of you who may not have an Instant Pot or even a crock pot for that matter. So let's turn around, get a different angle going, and let's jump right into today's recipe. In front of you, you see your ingredients for the chili mac recipe. We have 8 ounces of elbow macaroni, 1 large onion diced. We're going to add in 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, 28 ounces of diced tomatoes, 1 15-ounce can of black beans rinsed and drained, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 green pepper diced. I had a yellow pepper that I needed to use up, so I just went ahead and used that one today. 1 tablespoon of tomato paste, 2 cups of chicken broth, and 2 cans of kidney beans rinsed and drained. We're also going to need a variety of spices. We're going to need 1 tablespoon of cumin, 1 tablespoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, and 1 teaspoon of salt. And when it's all said and done, we're going to add some cheese on top. So let me go ahead and get these cans opened and get these beans drained and rinsed, and then I will come right back and we will get this recipe started. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and put both of our burners on. I have a pot of water in the back so that we can make our macaroni. And then I have our pan in the front. I don't have anything in that one yet, as you can see. So the first thing we're going to do, are you ready? We're going to add in the oil and the onions, and we're gonna saute those. So we have our extra virgin olive oil here. I have 1 tablespoon of oil. We're going to put that right in our pan. Now I'm thinking it wasn't a great idea to mix our onions and peppers together because I'd forgotten we have to cook one quicker than the other. So we're just going to go ahead and try to save some of those in there and try to get all of our onions in there. Oh, not bad. Look at that. So go ahead and let those start to saute a little bit. And then once that becomes a little bit transparent, then I will come back and show you the next step. Okay, hopefully that's not too loud. I will try to speak up a little bit during this part. So we're just waiting for our onions to become translucent, and they're almost there. So in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and start to measure out our garlic. Now I just have this large container of garlic here from Costco. You can see it's almost empty. So I'm going to grab 1 tablespoon of garlic. I'm going to go ahead and dump that in now. I'm going to go ahead and stir that in, and then I'm going to add in our peppers. Going to let that cook for another minute, and then we'll start to dump in more of our ingredients. Now this recipe actually comes together really, really easy, and I'm telling you, your kitchen smells amazing with the garlic and the onions and the peppers together. Just absolutely amazing. The next thing we're gonna add in is our spices, and I just went ahead and pre-measured our chili powder, our cumin, our salt, and our paprika. I was trying to figure out if this was the paprika or this was the paprika, and then I just had to remind myself of the measurements again. So we're just gonna go ahead and place all that into our pan. We're just gonna give it one last little stir here. All right, perfect. Let's go ahead and get that in there. This is where your kitchen's really gonna start to smell amazing. You give that a stir, let that cook up just for a second. Telling you, if you could smell my kitchen right now, we really need, someone needs just to invent smell-o-vision. I'm telling you, because we really need that. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add in our broth. So what I have is I use this Tones chicken base. There's also a Better Than Bouillon that has a chicken, and I really like that a lot because of the fact that you always have chicken broth or chicken, you know, yeah, I guess it's called chicken broth on hand. So it just makes it easier because I don't know about you, but I don't keep canned broth on hand a lot. So it just makes it a lot easier for me to have that available when I need it instead of you know, having to worry about adding that to my grocery list every single week. Okay, next up we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add in our tomato paste. And I have my tomato paste here in a tube. Comes in a little box that looks like this. And it just makes it a whole lot easier for me because I don't use a lot of tomato paste. And this recipe only calls for 1 tablespoon. So if you only need 1 tablespoon, what do you do with the rest of the can? A little bit more than a tablespoon, but I think that's okay. All right, so we've got that in there. We're gonna go ahead and add our tomatoes in next. And I just have petite diced tomatoes here, so we're just gonna go ahead and get those into the pot. And I think the last ingredient we have is our beans. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and let this mixture here start to cook. We're gonna let this cook on the stove for about 10 minutes. And then we're gonna come back in and we're gonna add the beans. And we're gonna let that cook for another 10 minutes. So I'm just gonna go ahead and throw a lid on this and let this come to a simmer. And then once that comes to a simmer, we'll turn the heat down and just let that cook. So stay tuned, we will be right back. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're going to go ahead and add our beans in. And again, that is 2 cans of kidney beans. I have a dark and a light and 1 can of black beans, drained and rinsed. I'm gonna go ahead and let that simmer for 10 more minutes. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and throw our macaroni into our pot of boiling water in the back and go ahead and let that cook. Now when I make my chili mac, I like a thicker chili mac, so it's kind of hard to cook it in the same pot. If you had more liquid in here, you could definitely cook it in the same pot. But again, I like it to be nice and thick so that I can enjoy the chili and the pasta along with the cheese. It's so good. And did I mention the best part? This is going to be 6 SmartPoints per serving. How can you go wrong with chili mac for 6 SmartPoints? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and let this simmer for 10 minutes once it comes to a boil. And by that time, I'll go ahead and drain the macaroni so that that's ready to go, and we'll start putting this recipe together. Quick and easy. I mean, it looks like it's a lot of ingredients, but it comes together super quick, and the flavor it's so good. You can't go wrong. So, all right, enough of me blabbering. Just hang tight, and we'll get the rest of this put together. Okay, we are now in the home stretch. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off our front burner and give that a quick little stir. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add in 1 cup of cheese, and the cheese that I'm using, the cheese that I always use, is this Velveeta Shreds, and this is 8 SmartPoints per cup. So very low in points. 2 SmartPoints per quarter cup you really can't go wrong with. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that in here now, just to kind of get that incorporated, because it seems like it just kind of goes together quicker when you put it in with the sauce before you dump in the macaroni. I went ahead and drained our macaroni, so I'm going to go ahead and pop that in next. And you can see how nice and thick and hearty this is. And you know, we may actually get more than 8 servings out of this, so it could be even lower in points. So depending on your serving size, I am approximating the serving size to be 1.5 cups. I always forget to mention that. So 1.5 cups per serving on this. And I've included, for our 6 SmartPoints, a little bit of cheese on the top of our bowl. So doesn't that look delicious? I mean, it smells phenomenal in my kitchen. So we're gonna go ahead and get this plated up. So let me grab a bowl and I'll show you exactly what my plate's gonna look like. Okay, what I have is a 1/2 cup measuring cup. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab 3 of these. And you can see it is a huge serving. So we have 3 1/2 cup servings. And then I'm going to add in, I try to open my cheese one-handed, just a little sprinkle of cheese on the top of that. How's that? 6 SmartPoint Chili Mac vegetarian meal. Well, I hope that you liked today's video, and again, thank you to all the other channels who have joined in on this collab with me today. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Just click that little subscribe button below, and if you want to be notified of upcoming videos, just go ahead and click that bell next to the subscribe button, and you can keep up with all of my shenanigans over here on my channel. Again, thank you to everyone who participated, and thank you for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.